Well, Mary, every day across Charlotte, we know crimes are committed, and every day arrests are made, and every day court appearances take place. And depending on the severity of the crimes, bonds are set. That's a dollar amount the suspects pay to get out of jail until their trial. But we continue to report on suspects charged for crimes like robberies and shootings who end up back on the streets long before they head back to a courtroom. In some of those cases, this is the result of low bond amounts. The impact that issue can have on our community is clear. But the impact on the men and women whose job it is to make arrests is often a footnote to the headline. This is just one story over a controversy calling for change.
We see repeat offenders every day.
Across the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, there are more than 1,900 total sworn officers. In CMPD's busy Metro Division, officers patrol your streets morning, day, and night. Two of those faces are Officers Nugent and Robinson. The first faces suspects see when crimes are committed. And lately, the first faces suspects see when they leave jail and head back to the streets.
The bond system doesn't keep people in jail for any length of time. You arrest them and they'll get back out the same night, maybe sometimes an hour later, and you're back dealing with them all over again.
So we see a lot of the same faces, just driving around 10 hours a day. And that guy just did a shooting, 2 months ago, and here he is, buying cigarettes at the gas station or something like that.
One alleged repeat offender they've met, Octavius Wilson. He's been arrested multiple times in Mecklenburg County. November 2022, Wilson is charged with kidnapping, sexual battery, first-degree rape, first-degree attempted sexual offense, and assault on a female. Wilson is given a $2 million bond for the suspected crimes. But days later in court,
we're going to help you out with that, okay? So right now it's a $2 million bond. We'll make it a 1,000 secured bond.
A judge reduced Wilson's bond.
When you guys heard that, what was your reaction?
I was about to not come to work the next day. Why are we out here doing this job if we're not getting backed up on the other end?
Wilson's attorney tells me he is currently at a state hospital undergoing a mental evaluation.
It's very frustrating for us to...
Off the streets for a moment, patrol officers aren't the only ones to experience the bond issue. Detective Matthew Freeman has his own stories, one of which starts with another alleged repeat offender, Khalil Prater. Arrested for armed robbery on February 8, 2022. Prater spent a couple weeks in jail and then was released on bond. Just days later, on March 1, 2022, Prater is arrested for another alleged robbery. A couple weeks later, he is once again released on bond. Detective Freeman was involved in both arrests.
And sometimes you just say, why am I even bother doing this? If they're just going to be back out on the street, I'm going to have to do it all over again.
The officers I spoke to agree. Change is needed when it comes to the pretrial release system, arguing that low bond amounts are allowing alleged repeat offenders to get too many opportunities to commit more crimes before they have their day in court.
What have you guys come to learn about the process?
It's not a good process. It doesn't work out very well. It needs to be changed.
So, can the judges and magistrates not just slap a $1 million bond on anyone charged for a violent crime? I took the questions and concerns of those officers to Mecklenburg County's Chief District Court Judge, Elizabeth Trosh.
And we're having this debate about, come on, Judge, can't you just agree, set a higher bond, right? Well, maybe the problem is a bond system that relies on money, that centers around appearing in court, rather than having a system that really is designed to deal with the very real situation that some people pose a risk to our community pending trial and should not be released into the community. That's not how the statute is designed.
Now, to get a judge and sit down and answer questions on this topic is not easy, but Judge Trosh had a lot to say about this. What she says could be a solution tonight at 6 right here on WBTV News. And a quick note I wanted to add, I did reach out to attorneys for Octavius Wilson and Khalil Prater, the suspects I mentioned in that story. No statements have been given about the charges they are currently facing.